Hello viewers, welcome to Sunday Politics on Trust Television, coming to you from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am, as usual, Ali M. Ali, your host. A couple of days ago, the vice presidential candidate of the ruling All Progressive Congress, Senator Kashim Shettima, former governor of Borno State, was unveiled, quote unquote, to party members and supporters alike at the Shehu Musa Yar'Adua Center, right here in Abuja. The official presentation of Shettima came 5 days later than scheduled, fueling speculation that the standard bearer of the party, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, might have capitulated to intense pressure to jettison the same fate ticket, which has been controversial up to a point. The unveiling of Shettima, however, left in its wake several issues. One such issue was the visible absence of governors, aspirants, and delegates of the Southeast. The second issue, and perhaps more engaging, was the presence of quote-unquote unknown bishops at the event. The controversy their appearance generated nearly took the shine off the event. The new media, especially, was agog with images of these, well, quote-unquote again, obscure men of God. The Christian Association of Nigeria expectedly was quick to disown them. Well, these are some of the two key issues that trail the unveiling of Shettima. Joining me to discuss these issues and the controversy they might have generated is Ima Iburu, the Director of Media of the gubernatorial campaign in Delta State, of the APC in Delta State. Well, Mr. Niboro, in his little introduction, is a seasoned journalist, media administrator, and at one time was the managing director of News Agency of Nigeria, NAN. Well, perhaps more notable about our guest this evening is that at the point he was the media advisor to President Goodluck Jonathan. Before then, he was also his media advisor as vice president. You are welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
It's good to have you here.
Thank you so much.
Viewers will take a short break, and when we come back, Mr. Iboro will give us his take on the controversy surrounding the unknown bishop. Stay tuned. Welcome back. If you are just tuning in, you are watching Sunday Politics on Trust Television. Our guest is Mr. Ima Iburu, the Director of Media, the Delta State APC gubernatorial campaign organization. Now, the presence of unknown bishops nearly took the shine of the whole event that unveiled Kashim Shettima. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, thank you, Ali, for having me. Well, in the first place, I think it's really what I call a storm in a teacup. Ordinarily, it shouldn't be an issue, but because the country has been whipped into this kind of divide that we now look at everything through the prism of religion and ethnicity, it becomes a story to tell. Ordinarily, bishops, not everybody has to be a bishop of Naikon. Not everybody has to be the archbishop of the Anglican Church. There are bishops of small churches, who some are probably even self-ordained, some are ordained by their contemporaries. You know, we, the Christians, especially of the Pentecostal flock, we are used to such things. You have bishops, you know, of small churches. You have bishops of big churches. Even the well-known Bishop Oyedepo, at the time he became bishop, Living Faith was a big church already, but not quite as big as it is now. And at that time, people used to ask, who ordained him? Yeah, because people were used to
Yeah.
having bishops
In-
ordained
but
by the
Orthodox
Pope,
churches, yes.
by
Orthodox
the,
churches,
yes,
yes.
So, but all that has changed, especially in the Pentecostal movement. So there's a different way of looking at it. So you cannot say that they are actually fake bishops. They are just not very well known bishops. Some not known at
Yeah.
all.
Yes.
So I don't think anybody will play with that, go and bring fake people. But having said that, I think it was actually quite unnecessary. The APC candidate Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu had pointed out that he chose competence over issues of religion, ethnicity. And so when we're talking about competence, when we're talking about nation building, when we're talking about how to position Nigeria, in the current century, so that we can even leave a country for our children, because things are getting very worrisome. Yeah, I think there was actually no need to even dramatize all that. When you do the unveiling, do the unveiling. Talk about economy, talk about politics, talk about business, talk about how to reposition Nigeria, talk about great things, great big ideas like my late friend Sam Ndaza used to say.
Exactly.
Talk about big ideas. What are we talking about, dragging some people all over the place that they are bishops, non-bishops? No. We have gone past that. I keep saying, the day that Asiwaju emerged as APC presidential candidate, it was clear to everyone that it's going to be a Muslim ticket. It was obvious. The only thing you could have done to stop it would have been to stop Asiwaju at the primaries. If nobody could stop him, then what are you talking about now? Didn't they, all these people complain, didn't they see Pastor Shibanjo there? Why did they not vote him to be the candidate?
Well, they are not delegates. Some of them crying for, they are not delegates.
Well, delegates represent people. Delegates don't represent themselves. Delegates represent people. The delegates are actually chosen as representatives of people from across local governments. They don't represent themselves. It's an electoral college. The electoral college, you are representing people. And it is what those who will tell you to do that you should do. So, having not done that, why are you talking about Muslim ticket now? The emergence of Asiwaju made it a fait accompli, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, well, still talking about this men of God who graced the occasion. I think Nigerians are, well, those who traducers of the Muslim ticket who are opposed to it are pointing at perhaps how some people have been shut out completely. But I recall this same argument by the Tinubu support organization, and I think the statement by Bayo Onanuga, explaining this exact position, that they are men of God from still building their missions. Now, still, well, the Christian Association of Nigeria is saying, look, they've disowned them. I don't know how you react to that.
I want to actually move us away from this whole bishop or non-bishop saga.
Yes.
I want to ask a question. For those who are talking about Muslim ticket, what is the worst dilemma? Is it a Muslim ticket when the other Muslim, the lead Muslim, is from Lagos, a liberal state where religion plays almost zero role in the lives of people? Religion is very private, very personal. A Muslim whose wife is a pastor of Redeemed, who from time to time has been seen attending Redeemed church programs. A Muslim who is very broad-minded. A Muslim who, without trying to, I'm not questioning his faith, but in his courage through the years, we watched Asiwaju Tinubu. I think Asiwaju Tinubu is more like a Muslim by birth.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's not a practicing Muslim, but he's like a Muslim by birth. And I keep saying this. I know Lagos very well. I spent most of my adult years in Lagos. I actually married from Lagos State. My wife is from Lagos.
Interesting.
Yes.
You're a Lagosian.
I'm a Lagosian. And I can tell you, these issues of religion that are being touted all over the country, they have zero resonance in Lagos. Have you heard Lagos Christians complaining? No. You know why? Let me give you an example from my wife's family. My wife's family, they are Muslims. My wife's father is Alaji. Her mother is Alaja.
Interesting.
My wife is a Christian. Of the 4 children, she is the eldest. She is a Christian. The rest are Muslims. And she was a Christian before I met her. Her mom used to tell her that, oh, now I know why from the age of 10 you followed your auntie to church, because even my mother-in-law, her own family, they are Muslims, but her own elder sister was a Christian. My wife, when she was growing up, she chose to go to church without her auntie.
Interesting.
You understand? And nobody stopped her.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you this. That's how Lagos is. So this whole issue of Muslim, it doesn't resonate among Lagosians. It doesn't resonate.
But some will point out the fact that perhaps Tinubu was responding to the cry of over the years that only Muslims had superintended over the affairs of Lagos. That's when he brought Ambodi, supported Ambodi, for example, because if you look at the history of Jakande, was a Muslim.
Yes.
Well, there was a brief spell
Yes.
by Michael Otedola.
Yes.
And then Tinubu returned as a Muslim Fashola. I mean, I don't know whether this is not clashing with some of the position.
But let me put it this way, because this is a story I'm very familiar with. You know, there are some times that the optics become, you need to make it a little less difficult, you know, for people to take. Ambode was totally qualified. There were others who were with him, some Muslims, some Christians. The main consideration that brought Ambode wasn't his faith, but it was like, okay, so that it doesn't seem like as if this is becoming an issue. Okay, let a Christian go there. Someone who took over is a Christian. It was not his faith that got him that position.
Yeah, competence
and his linkages, you know, to the power structure.
Yes.
Same thing with Ambode. You understand? So the issue of Muslim ticket. Let me now, what is worse? Muslim ticket run by a very liberal Muslim from Lagos, or having had 8 years of Northern presidency, and even the Northern governors themselves, they came together and said, no, this is unfair, that this is not what we signed for. Nigeria is an egalitarian society, and we all agreed that power must rotate between North and South. It was them that insisted, put their foot down, that the presidency for APC must go southwards. Which is worse? To have 16 years of the North, or to have another 8 years of the South, whether Muslim ticket or not. For me, as a practical politician, a journalist, administrator, I'll take that Muslim ticket over the other one, because I know the opportunities that are bound. Just the fact that presidency is within a neighborhood, opposition just begins to abound. You don't even need to connect to the president. Do you understand?
Yes. Now, let me take you on this still. Move away slightly from this thing, but then look at this idea of competence now, for example.
Yes.
And in choosing Shettima, competence was considered. Now, in your opinion, what is he bringing to the ticket?
The first most important thing that I see in his choice is that the issue that is on the front burner of Nigeria today is not the economy.
It's not economy?
It's not economy. It's not ease of doing business. It's not your tribe. It's not your religion. It is insecurity. I say this all the time, and I say this in response to people talking about Peter Obi. I don't want to go in that direction. I have a lot of respect for him, but there are certain things I don't agree with. If you save up all the money, build the best facilities, Nigeria, everything is nice, going well, and somebody puts a bomb in the middle of it, what do you achieve? Nothing. If the entire Nigeria is perceived across the world as a very insecure place, who will bring this dollar here? No one.
Well, just hold on your thought there. When we get back, we're going for a short break. And when we get back, perhaps we can deal. We're going on a short break. We take a quick break. And when we come back, we examine, we continue from why the issue of security that our guest is talking about. Stay tuned. Don't go away.
TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
Thank you for staying with us. You are watching Sunday Politics on Trust Television. Our guest, Mr. Imai Boro, shared his thought about the president of unknown bishop at the unveiling of Kashim Shettima as running mate of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Before we went on break, he will touch on something that is very crucial, that is the issue of security. Now, let's take you on that again. You were saying about insecurity or security or lack of it. What qualified Kashim now to be an expert there?
Well, let me tell you. Immediately, I heard Ashiwaju announce Shettima as his running mate. I said, this is astute because he has pointed in a specific direction that is going to tackle the issue of insecurity. Shettima is the governor under whom Boko Haram actually really, it didn't start with him, but under him it became an international matter. Not by any fault of his. You remember that it was Kashim that introduced this issue of a civilian JTF and all these issues that helped tremendously. As governor of a state, he doesn't have the apparatus to fight Boko Haram. But as vice president now, he's right there in the Security Council. He knows all the secrets. He knows all the back trails. He knows the stories. He knows who the government can work with, who the government can work against. Let me give you an example. The Niger Delta crisis. I was senior special assistant to the then Vice President Goodluck Jonathan when Yaradua came on board. You know that the Niger Delta was in a famine. Oil production had been brought down from 2.5 million barrels per day to less than 400,000 barrels per day. The then president, late President Yaradua, God bless his soul, saddled Goodluck Jonathan with the duty to arrest this trend. He gave him the job that this is your main job here. You must arrest this trend. You must make sure that what we need to do in the Niger Delta is done and bring peace to that area so that business can bloom again. I attended all the meetings. We used to meet at Bolingo Hotel with all the warlords. all the Niger Delta warlords. So we used to meet at Bolingo Hotel. Sometimes we hold meetings for 13 hours.
Interesting.
Sometimes they even bring food to eat so that nobody gets up. Because in the beginning it was, you can imagine it was hot. People were angry, people were boiling. People were even telling the vice president, why you involve yourself in this nonsense? But being the kind of person calm, he was able to eventually bring everybody peaceful, everybody calm down. I know what happened. We were able to get the genuine agitators, people who had genuine issues about deprivation, about environmental degradation, about this, about that. We were able to separate those people from the criminals. The people who were doing bunkering, people who were doing hijacking on the high seas, they were all coming in the name of Niger Delta agitation. But we knew that it was not true.
Yeah.
So we were able to separate the wheat from the chaff. And you know what? We now use the wheat to chase out the chaff.
Interesting
And brought
analogy.
peace to the Niger Delta.
You think that approach perhaps will resolve the intractable problem, for example, in the Southeast, which brings you to the next issue about the absence of Southeast politicians? The same approach used to resolve the conflict in the Niger Delta?
Well, I think the issues in the Southeast are pretty straightforward. And the IPOB is the main issue. And I think for some time now, it's actually petering out on its own, gradually. You have, in that kind of environment, like I said, you have the good guys and the bad guys, all the time.
Yeah.
So why don't you harness the good guys? Work with the good guys. Because for them, the bad guys are already an embarrassment to them. They are spoiling their name already, but they just don't have the apparatus of state to deal with them. So if you can put the state behind such people, they will weed out the bad guys for you. And then you can work with these people, meet their needs, the reasonable needs, because most of these things are not really unreasonable for the genuine people who agitate. They're not unreasonable demands. Some, of course, some can be tempered down. Some can be by greater engagement. You know, it can be explained that, okay, look, we can do this right now, but this will take some time, or this we cannot do. But because usually those genuine agitators are reasonable men. So when you do that, you are able to bring peace to your area. So it's the same thing. When Ashiwaju chose Shettima, that's the picture I have in my head. This is the guy that knows the terrain. This guy that knows the good guys. This guy will be able to separate the good guys from the bad guys. And so that we can work with the good guys to chase out the bad guys. That's what I think. Yes. Maybe simplistic in approach, but usually if you pursue it from that perspective and they see genuineness in you, they see honesty in you, they see purpose in you, you will see that you have put a foot through the door already.
Yes.
The rest is up to how you run what you need to run and how they respond to you.
Yes.
So that's what I think about the choice of Shettima. And I think it's brilliant.
Yes, well, the other issue, just briefly, just maybe in 30, 40, at most 60 seconds, the absence of Southeast leaders, one of the issues that, well, it has not been discussed that much, which has not engaged the attention of a lot of people, is the absence of Southeast leaders, especially you look at the ministers and some of the governors from the Southeast, from the Unveiling. Does that suggest there is a rumble still in the House?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Like you said, it has not gained any attention because it doesn't require any attention. Yeah. I think, you know, people are busy. People
now, let's get to your state now.
Yes,
let's get to your state, Delta. An interesting scenario there.
Yes.
You have the Deputy Senate President, who is the flag bearer there, trying to have a foothold in a state that has been controlled by the PDP for 4 years. Yes. And incidentally, the running mate to the presidential candidate is the outgoing governor of the state. Yes. What are your chances? Because I don't see. What are your chances there?
You know, when you said
how optimistic are
when you said the APC candidate is trying to gain a foothold, I smiled. I said no. Yes, he actually has a very, very powerful foothold. In fact, as we speak now, it is clear to everyone that is incoming governor. Because in the first place, Delta has had it up to here with PDP. mark my word, all of us came out of PDP. And we all came out because of one protest or the other.
It's interesting. That's a very curious thing.
Yes.
Because your principal, the
Yes.
former president, is still in the PDP.
Of course, no, the former president is still in the PDP, but I can tell you in name alone.
I see.
Yes. You don't remember the role he played in the emergence of the APC guy who won in Bayelsa?
Yes, until the court...
Before the court did what it did?
Yes, yes. Yeah,
I am in constant touch
Yes.
with my former boss, the former president. I mean, I saw him just last week.
Yeah, I see.
I know his thoughts. I know his thoughts. He may not be a card-carrying member of APC, but he definitely is not with them in PDP. I can tell you that. And I want to say this. I was one of the people who actually thought that the APC could adopt him as the next presidential candidate. I actually was hoping for that. Because if we had that, some of all these issues we are talking about will not even arise. But alas, it didn't go that way.
Yeah.
Because you will have had somebody who's coming to do one term, so he's going to hit the ground running. He's not coming to be nice to you. He's not going to come to smile at you.
Yeah.
He has a job to do.
Yeah.
He doesn't have time
He has
to
been
do
there
it.
before.
You understand? He has been there before. So he just needs to hit the ground and run. But well, what happened. So that's fine. Ashiwaju is our candidate, so we support him 100%. We will work with him and we will make sure that he wins. So in Delta, back to Delta, we are going to win the state because we have everything working for us. And don't forget that even the PDP there is in total ferment.
Well,
They are in total disarray.
well, Mr. Imai Buru, thank you for coming to our studios, and you ending on that optimistic note on your part. We thank you for having us. Well, viewers, we come to the end of today's program. See you another time. Goodbye.